Meet the goalkeepers. With the knowledge that the best offense is a dominant defense, these lion-hearted athletes guard their goals with whatever means necessary. But not only do they have to deflect shots taken on them, but criticism too. Because while others can hide behind a bad play, goalkeepers are the last line of defense. Defense may win championships, but no keeper stands a chance against the truth. In life, being small in stature comes with its challenges. In fact, some actors even had to endure a dwarf boot camp to better understand them.
I was partly, obviously not the dwarvish bit because I didn't have to move like a dwarf and I didn't have to learn the same things that they learned. But yeah, fighting, horse riding, stunts, all that, yeah.
These challenges could be magnified in sport, but the World Dwarf Games make them a non-issue.
Most of us grow up being the only little person in our school or our community. And to have the opportunity to be with other dwarf athletes, we had to make sure that we allowed not only elite athletes, but entry-level athletes to come to these games as well.
If you're a vertically challenged football goalkeeper looking for a team to aspire to, there is one place that is the happy place to play. Barcelona. Because it seems their key players are traditionally shorter than average, including their goalkeepers. In fact, their most decorated keeper is the 6-feet-tall Victor Valdez, who won 21 major titles with the Blaugrana, including 6 La Liga titles and 3 UEFA Champions Leagues. When Valdez left for the Premier League, Claudio Bravo was brought in, who's just as tall as Valdez.
I'm very confident in my condition, my potential. I'm at a club that has had some great goalkeepers with a tremendous history.
Unfortunately for Bravo, his Barcelona experience lasted just 2 years before he was history, heading to Manchester City in 2016.
Bravo is a great professional. He had 2 outstanding seasons here. He's unique and brought a lot to the club. In a period when the position was in doubt with the departure of Victor Valdez, Claudio came in and performed at the highest level.
Despite playing against the likes of 6'7" Fraser Forster and 6'6" Thibaut Courtois, Bravo and Valdez proved once again that in keeping, bigger doesn't necessarily mean better. Coming up, the greatest goalkeepers of the world game. Like the ball it's played with, despite teams being steeped in history, the game of football is in constant evolution. For scientific advancements in health and fitness have made footballers stronger, quicker and faster to heal. While technology means phantom goals could become a thing of the past. This isn't the only change thrust upon the goalkeeping position. With the back pass rule of 1992 discouraging time wasting seen at the boring World Cup of 1990, keepers suddenly needed to become more nimble with their feet. And then there was the introduction of the sweeper keeper, which gained ground thanks to Germany's 2014 World Cup winning keeper Manuel Neuer. but really was seen in Hungary's golden team of the 1950s. That team was led by striker Ferenc Puskás, as Hungary was an all-out attacking force, which left them vulnerable on the counter. Hence, keeper Gyula Grosics revealed that there was space behind our defense to be exploited, and I had to act as a kind of extra sweeper outside my area, trying to reach the through ball before opponents. But beneath the steady progression in the position is a base built firmly in the past. The IFFHS has ranked the greatest goalkeepers of the 20th century, and at number 3 stands Italian Dino Zoff. Zoff made headlines nationally by winning 6 Serie A titles, 2 Coppa Italia titles, and a UEFA Cup with Juventus, but became an international hero when he became the oldest winner of the World Cup, captaining the Azzurri to the title in 1982 at just over 40 years of age. He's proven that the position can be played at a high level later in life, just as his successor on the Italian side, another Juventus goalkeeping legend, Gianluigi Buffon, has done, having won 4 IFFHS World Best Goalkeeping nods between 2003 and 2007.
Everyone expects perfection from me. I have yet to achieve perfection, but I am working my best to attain it.
The only goalkeeper to win the UEFA Footballer of the Year award, Buffon emulated Zoff on the international stage as well, winning himself a World Cup title in 2006 and is the most capped player in the history of the Italian national team.
I'm lost for words when it comes to Buffon. He's an extraordinary goalkeeper. I think he is the best goalie in the world, if not one of the 3 best goalkeepers in the history of football.
For all the superstar forward talent the Premier League is able to attract, meaning goalkeepers are highly tested, when it's time to represent the Union flag of England, their keepers fail to live up to expectation. In fact, the position has become somewhat of an Achilles heel for the 3 Lions, ever since Peter Shilton led them to a 4th place finish at Italia 90, leaving the senior side its all-time leader in caps and a joint record 10 clean sheets in a World Cup finals.
My final clean sheet was against Belgium.
Yeah, that's Italia. Yeah.
I always remember clean sheets.
His club career carried on for 7 years after retiring from international duty, playing his 1,000th game in 1996 against Brighton and Hove Albion 3 days before Christmas.
When you're at the top, you start out in your career and you get to the top and you sort of, you think, in a way, you don't take it for granted, but in a way you do. You sort of think it's going to be there forever, and you go through a phase like that, and you get into other things, and you diverse, and you take football a bit. But then you get to a point where you realise that you might be sort of finishing with football, and then it hits you that, you don't want to finish. You want to sort of go on and stay in the game.
This inability to walk away from the pipes was an issue for England's greatest ever keeper too. The IFFHS has Gordon Banks as the 2nd greatest keeper of the 20th century, thanks to a 15-year career that saw him win a Football League Cup with Leicester City in 1964 and again with Stoke City in 1972. But perhaps his biggest accomplishments came on the international stage, where Banks backstopped England to their one and only World Cup title in 1966. However, things changed dramatically for the 6-time FIFA Goalkeeper of the Year when he was involved in a car crash in 1972.
Well, I can't remember, I can't remember the crash, so all I remember was waking up and, in the hospital, so...
And what were your thoughts then?
Well, I just wanted, I just realised that I was in a bad way.
You could say that again. Needing close to 300 stitches to repair the damage, the accident cost him the sight in his right eye, as well as his England career for both club and country, though he wanted to prove the world otherwise.
Obviously, I want to continue. I want to keep playing. This is just another hurdle in life that I have to overcome.
Despite having to move to the NASL to make this desire become a reality, he proved he was still a goalkeeping force even with one eye. Banks was named NASL Goalkeeper of the Year in 1977 before retiring altogether 1 year later. And the #1 goalkeeper on the IFFHS list of greatest keepers of the 20th century is the Soviet superstar Black Spider, Lev Yashin. Yashin earned himself the nickname because of his distinctive all-black outfit, and because he stopped shots so well for a living, it seemed as though he played with 8 arms. But his menacing presence went beyond his outfit. Rather, he'd yell at his players to get them into position and took things very seriously. Almost too seriously. What kind of a goalkeeper is the one who is not tormented by the goal he has allowed, he said. He must be tormented. And if he is calm, that means the end. No matter what he had in the past, he has no future. Woo. Highly influential, his style of play was influenced by other sports. Yashin popularized punching the ball out of harm's way, much like a prized boxer, and pioneered the art of throwing the ball like a baseball pitcher to start a counterattack. He also commanded his defense like a screaming quarterback, even leaving the penalty area to do so. His positional awareness was unmatched, leaving his peers looking to him for inspiration. Gordon Banks said everything he did was top class. He was the model for goalkeeping without a doubt. I visualized myself doing some of the things he was doing. Even though I was already playing in the top division, I used to learn from him. The 1956 Olympic gold medal winner appeared in 4 World Cups and is the only keeper to win the Ballon d'Or back in 1963. Yet for all the accolades, his secret to success was simple and rather counter-current to today's game. One must have a smoke to calm your nerves, then toss back a strong drink to tone your muscles. After the break, the women who play for keeps. Ever since Mia Hamm helped guide the US to World Cup glory in 1999, the rise of women's football worldwide has been impressive, and they have the statistics to back them up. According to UEFA research compiled in the 2014-15 campaign, there were just over 1.2 million registered female players in Europe, with 750,000 of those being under the age of 18. A portion of those players most definitely made up the 750 million viewers worldwide that tuned into the final of the 2015 Women's World Cup. The tournament also featured 2 of the greatest female goalkeepers in football history. 2 very different people. Germany has a rich history of great goalkeepers. Like Bert Trautmann, the former World War II paratrooper and prisoner of war, turned English football folk hero, thanks to his courageous and some would say crazy performance in the 1956 FA Cup final.
Birmingham rally and then a clash between Peter Murphy and goalie Bert Trautmann. Trautmann's hurt.
Hurt was an understatement. The Uber keeper broke his neck on the play, but elected to play on. making numerous key saves in leading Manchester City to victory while garnering little sympathy.
Never mind, Bert Troutman, there's something extra special waiting for you in the changing room.
There was the cat from Ansing, Sepp Maier, who was voted Germany's goalkeeper of the century after guiding them to consecutive titles, the 1972 European Championships and the 1974 World Cup. And if 2014 World Cup winning keeper Manuel Neuer is their modern-day equivalent, another German legend in the position, Oliver Kahn, feels Neuer could win the FIFA World Player of the Year award himself. That's because the precedent had been set on the women's side. Nadine Angerer is arguably the greatest ever female goalkeeper, and in 2013 became the first keeper, man or woman, to take the World Player of the Year crown. Clearly, it was a pleasant surprise.
Well, of course, it is an extremely important award. And as I said before, I'm really glad to be here. And of course, I'm generally really happy and grateful for any award. I also got the award for Best Tattoo in 2013. And of course, this would be the icing on the cake.
Between 1996 and 2015, Angerer won 146 caps for the German national side, winning 3 bronze medals at consecutive Olympic Games. She left the game a 5-time European champion and 2-time World Cup winner. The 2015 World Cup would be her last edition, a decision that was lamented heading into the tournament.
She is very important to us as a team, on the pitch and off the pitch. She is in the form of her life and has been for many years. She's just a great personality. She is my right hand on the field. And very often we sit together and talk about the state that the team is in. We have a very close relationship, and it's too bad that she wants to retire. We will definitely miss her.
In the semi-final, she'd face off against her biggest modern-day rival, Hope Solo, and lost 2-0. She left the game a legend, while Solo, who went on to win it all, still found herself struggling with a not-so-stellar public image. Hope Solo is a curious contradiction of killer keeping skills mingled with bouts of gamesmanship. Take her 2015 World Cup semi against Germany, where stall tactics were used to unnerve tournament-leading goalscorer Celia Sasic into missing her penalty kick. Solo ended the tournament with the Golden Glove trophy as the best goalkeeper.
I'm honored to be on this team, and I'm honored to play for you guys and for this country.
The following year, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist would face Sweden in a quarter-final clash at the 2016 Rio Games. But not before arriving as public enemy #1 with the locals, who labeled her Zika, after she posted her remedy to the Zika virus on Twitter that seemingly loomed large amongst the athletes. And rather than learn her lesson from the backlash, she carried on in the same vein, inviting athletes to visit her for repellent. When more gamesmanship proved futile and the Americans lost on penalties to the Swedes, Solo called them a bunch of cowards for not playing offensive enough. She later went on Swedish television to apologize. Sort of.
I didn't mean to come across that the players were cowards or the coach was a coward. I meant the style of play was not, it wasn't very Olympic spirited.
This contradiction carries on off the pitch as well. For on the one hand, she's been a strong advocate for the US women's team to be paid on par with the men's side.
So not only do we bring in more money for the federation than the men's team, but it's federal law. It's the Equal Pay Act. You have the same employer doing the same job, putting in the same amount of time. Granted, we're more successful at it than our men's team.
unfortunately, you are the person that is getting this knife, through you, but at the same time, it's going to open up so much. And you are that Martin Luther King of women's soccer.
And yet, on the other hand, this Martin Luther King of women's soccer seems to keep tripping herself up, which includes a 2014 charge of domestic violence against her half-sister and nephew. She's brash, she's brilliant, and oft-times, she's even boozy. But she's still the best women's keeper to wear the stars and stripes. For every starting keeper is a keeper who warms the bench. Being a backup can be a lucrative way to do nothing all day, but in reality, it can really mess with your mind. It is a big role, but you almost feel a bit guilty at times because you don't feel like you're contributing, said retired English keeper and perennial pine rider, Richard Lee. One of these guilt-ridden reserves could include Richard Wright, who signed with Manchester City in 2012. He earned £350,000 a year and never appeared in a single game in 4 seasons before retiring in 2016. It's a different scenario to that of Iker Casillas, the Real Madrid legend turned disgruntled backup during the 2013-14 campaign by then-coach Jose Mourinho. But whether you've never played a game or have won Champions League titles with your club, for any keeper, the rule is the same in any language.
With Iker Casillas, we will enforce one of the basic rules of the game. He will play if he deserves to play. He must deserve to play. This is normal. And it applies to all players in every team.
Still to come, manning the pipes on ice. During a game of ice hockey, the puck used can reach speeds of up to 170 kilometers an hour. So when a player uses his body to block a shot, some would call him crazy. But when blocking shots is the key element of your position, they call you a goalie. The city of New York has been blessed to witness one of the game's greatest on the ice of Madison Square Gardens. Sweden's Henrik Lundqvist was drafted in the 7th round and soon became a diamond in the rough, and a man now known as the King. And considering he's stopped so many missiles for the hometown Rangers in his long and storied career, the nickname is warranted. Lundqvist has set club records for most regular season and playoff wins, as well as most combined games played and saves. The 2012 Vezina Trophy winner as top keeper also has recorded the most shutouts by a Ranger goalie. In 2017, he even got himself win number 400, becoming the first European to do so, and at the fastest rate in history.
He is everything that you would want on and off the ice. He's a leader, a tireless worker. His focus on his game is basically unparalleled. As a team owner, he is the model of what you want in a player and a leader for the team.
This model of perfection extends to the international scene while with Sweden, where he's guided his homeland to gold at Torino 2006 and silver at Sochi 2014. But ultimately, the goal for the King of New York is to bring the NHL's crown jewel, the Stanley Cup, back to MSG.
I really want to win the cup here in New York. It's my biggest goal and my biggest dream, and that what really pushes me right now to work harder.
The goalkeeping profession has been called a fraternity of renegades, where not only do you put your body on the line, but your reputation as a shot stopper. And on nearly every occasion, the difference between winning and losing. It may take a crazy person to find joy in taking a bullet for the team for a living, but perhaps that's what makes a goalkeeper so special. Because they're solitary, they're cerebral, and they're the glue that holds a team together. And that is the truth.